Hey tribe, Dawna here from Transformational Healing. And today we are going to talk about self care. So I want to make sure that we are actually live. And oh, look, I got a comment already. Miss Rachel is back from her vacation. So she has finally made a live. She's ready. So I want to just kind of like get real about self care because even I have a lot of issues with self care. So it's a lot of stuff that I have learned of ways to overcome my desire to always put everyone else before myself. And it has been a struggle to not always do that. As a mom, as an empath, as a healer and a caregiver, there are so many times that I find myself saying, well, I can wait on that. Or, well, everyone else needs to take a shower before I do. Or everyone else needs to get this before I do. And even I still catch myself on occasion doing those things. So I wanted to chit chat with how people feel about self care, how you guys go about trying to make sure that we get our self care and why that is so important. Why it is so important to make sure that you are able to fill yourself up, to fill your life force back up, to fill your emotional cup and your mental ability to handle things back up by taking care of yourself so that you can continue to take care of all of those other people and of the world and have compassion for others like you want to. Because I know um, when I'm not doing a really good job of making sure that I get that 5 minutes of just breathe and ground time multiple times a day, or I'm not doing that meditation time or the step outside for just a few minutes just to absorb some sunshine or getting my shower. Simple things that, should be a well, duh, take care of yourself, that I start to get irritable. I start to lose my ability to have as much compassion for other people. And I'm wondering if that happens to you guys too, because we definitely want to make sure that we can still take care of people, because especially if that's what is in our hearts, if like that's what I do, it's my job is to try to help others to find their path, to help others to walk their path, to help others to do their healing work. And as a healer and as a teacher, that's my goal. So it's vital for me, and part of my self care is knowing that I'm helping others. But that's where it gets tricky. And you've got to make sure that you're actually really taking care of yourself, not just saying that taking care of others is taking care of you, because it doesn't actually work that way. We do get a little bit of feedback and feel good energy from realizing that someone else gets what you're trying to help them with and that they're really starting to heal. We do get that, but that's not really your own self care. So, no excuses here. So, let's get into the chat. If you guys have any comments, whether it's now or on the replay, make sure that you add them into the live chat, add them into the comments down below. I will definitely comment back to people and show you different ways that we can do self-care for ourselves, or we can take care of ourselves, and answer your questions to help you see different ways that you can perhaps squeeze some things in that we don't have time for, because that's always our excuse. Well, we don't have time for that. Well, we need to make time for that. So Rachel says, Hubby and I practice self care today with a big, healthy brunch and catching up on Picard. See? Nice self care. So, I also know that Rachel likes to do yoga and she's just getting back from her vacation. So, I'm waiting to see how long it takes her to get back into that yoga practice of hers. So, I'm curious about that. Um, I tend to do a little bit of just quiet meditation time almost every morning as well as I can. But more of my self care is to make sure that I'm setting timers to go off. So if I'm working and focused on working, I'll be interrupted in my work, no matter what that is. And basically, that little alarm, it's not loud. It just, is a little alarm that goes off and it tells me to get up, to stretch, to move, to breathe, and to refocus. And mid afternoon every day, I try to have a break where I'm usually having coffee over tea, but I call it my tea time. And, this is relaxation to just sit and be for a few minutes or to indulge in something like playing a game on my phone. There's a word game, Wordscapes, that I like to play sometimes. So, but I set a timer with that so that I'm not getting stuck in that and then getting mad at myself for not going back to work either. So, Rachel says, I'm curious how long it's going to take me to get back into my routine too. Yeah, when we get those routines established and then we have changes to them, sometimes it takes a little bit to get used to. Um, this is my time of year when I'm actually more likely to take self care time because it's when Brushwood Folklore Center opens back up. And if you've looked through the channel and seen a lot of the herb walk videos or the spiritual places, the journey to spiritual places videos that I have up in the channel, you would have noticed that a lot of them are all at Brushwood. So you guys will be seeing me going live from Brushwood when I'm there to continue what I'm doing. I may have to skip a few weeks here and there, but that is my second home. It's this place that I feel uh, almost more at home than my home, actually. But that's because it's the nature aspect and the community aspect of it. And it's my refresh time. But it's also my time when I end up working my butt off. So we say, uh, work hard, play hard. That's our little personal small community. That's what we tend to do. So we like to give back to the community when we're there. They like to do all kinds of gardening and volunteer things. But that gardening, even though it's work, fills my heart and it fills me back up. And the more time that I can spend outdoors in nature on that land, the more I feel refreshed that I can make it through the winter. So it's a big portion of my self care, even if a lot of what I'm doing out there seems to be work things. To me, those things aren't work as much. Um, so there's a lot of things that you can do to make sure that you're taking care of you. Because if you are constantly doing that, taking care of other people, it's not necessarily a good thing. Um, you need to, if you are in an airplane, they tell you to put your mask on first. If you have no oxygen, you're not going to be able to help other people. Um, so you got to make sure that you're taking care of giving yourself what you need so that then you can feel generous and you don't get resentful about giving to others and giving to others that need help with things. And it can be a hard place, um, but it's a vital thing because you're going to run out of juice. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it multiple times, and Rachel's watched me do it. You know, Rachel has been a student of mine and a very close friend of mine now, but for almost 18 years. My oldest turns 18 next month. So she met us probably 17 years, we'll go with. And that's been, huge. So she's definitely seen a lot of my ups and downs and struggles with taking care of me instead of taking care of everyone else because it's part of my nature. And I have a feeling that if you're following me on this channel, if you're one of my students, if you're trying to learn about these sorts of things, that it's probably in your nature too to take care of other people um, and to send love to other people. And it's perfectly fine to constantly be sending love to other people as long as you make sure that you are feeling that love for yourself. So, a lot of this is about self love as well. You need to be at a place where you love yourself enough to take care of yourself, that you feel good about you, that you deserve this because I don't care who you are, you deserve to take time for self care. It is vital to our soul, it's vital to our spirit. And that self care can be physical. I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm going to schedule that eye exam so that I can see correctly. I'm going to make sure that I'm eating right. I'm going to go for that walk that I keep saying I'm going to go for and I never do. It can be a mental and emotional thing, taking breathing breaks, grounding. Take that class that you want to take, that because you keep saying you're going to practice yoga, but you're not practicing yoga. Figure out a way to take that class and go to it, to force yourself to practice yoga, or to force yourself right now to be a little bit social. If you are still at a place where you don't want to go to a physical class, get into a Zoom class. Get one other person that you trust to practice with you. Even if you and your friend are practicing whatever it is that you want to do, I was using yoga as an example, in your own homes via video chat back and forth, just one-on-one chat, which you can do on almost any social media thing right now. Never mind Zoom, it's free. If it's only one-on-one, you don't even have to turn it off after 45 minutes. And do that thing together, even if you're apart. But try to get that social aspect of things back into your life right now because it's really, really vital. And it might be a little bit difficult for some of you to allow that social aspect back in. I mean, I know that when I started teaching classes again, in-person classes, that it was a little like, okay, am I ready to do this? But yes, like I needed the contact with people. And it's not the same contact when it's online as it is when it's in person. And I think that that in-person contact is a good thing. So if, make a way for that in-person contact to get back in your life, because get back into those friendships, get back into those going and doing something, even if it's outdoors right now, to get yourself to take care of you. Things that fill your heart. That's what self-care is. Anything that fills you up inside, that fills you back up with joy, is something that is self-care for you. So Rachel says, 17 sounds about right. You have changed my life and been instrumental in me climbing back from a very, very dark place. Well, thank you, Rachel. I'm glad that I was able to help you, do that. And it's just part of what I do. But I definitely appreciate you because there's lots of things that you taught me along your path. And that's what I think maybe a lot of people don't realize, that, as a teacher, one of my best teachers are all of my students, and that's where I learn so many different things that I can use myself and pass on to other people. And it's really vital that to be constantly learning. My biggest thing that I tell all of my students, and I'm sure that you'll see Rachel in the chat agree in a minute, is that if you ever hear me say that I know it all, or that I know that this is the right way and this is the only way, or anything along that line, and I've stopped learning and stopped because I know everything, then you just need to whack me upside the head with a railroad tie, a 2x4, and walk away and don't come back, because that means that I'm no longer walking my path. And I believe that that's what you should do with every teacher. We should always be constantly learning. And if someone tries to tell you that this is the only way that you can do something, and they know because they know better, it would have to be something very, very small and very minute that, they've experienced multiple times. It couldn't be a big picture thing. It would have to be something very, very specific. Like, I've burned, like this particular thing this way. Okay, so let's say Vesta powder. I tell people when they want to use Vesta powder to take a tiny, tiny little pea-sized pinch and put it in a fireproof bowl and light it with a long match in a fireproof area, not in the middle of a rug, not in the middle of a bed. This is the way you should do this for fire safety. And it goes poof, and it clears the energy in your space if you're lighting it with intention. So I'm telling people this is the way you should do this, but I'm not telling them what actual type of fireproof bowl they need to be using. I'm not just telling them not to put it somewhere that it might tip over or catch something on fire. Middle of a rug, middle of a bed, as an example. It's not this is the only exact way that you can do this, and this is exactly how it works. This is exactly what you need to say, exactly what you need to think. That's not how life works for me. So, and each of us is walking our own path. So there is no right way. Your way, the way that feels right to you, as long as it's not harming other people, in my opinion, is the right way. And we each need to learn that on our own. And I can suggest ways, but, I can't tell you the right way, because, I'm learning just as well as everyone else is and walking this same learning path. I just happen to have more days of studying something. I'm still learning on a constant basis, and I like to share what I learn. But that doesn't mean that I know everything. So, Rachel says, I'm so bad at getting myself to socialize without another person to hold me accountable. I always just keep to myself and my cats. Yeah, you're much of an introvert. And I used to think of myself as an introvert, and then I was like, no, I'm an extrovert, and then I'm just an ambivert. I like both. So I like teaching people. I like being with people. But I also want to be that hermit that goes off in the woods and disappears at least once a month for 24 hours. That's my reset time. That's my self-care time. And during COVID, with everyone in the house and not getting any alone time because Todd retired, yeah, that was pushing my buttons. I had to find other ways to get that self-care time in. I had to find other things to do that got me that alone time that I need to reset myself. And it took me a while to do that, but I've done that. So that's what I mean. You can find a way, but you have to want to find a way. We talk about, the do not try. In other words, do it. Don't say you're going to try. Just do it. So, Rachel says, laugh out loud. I literally cannot imagine you ever saying that you know everything or turning away from new knowledge. No, I don't think it's possible. But I make everybody promise that if I ever do, that they will walk away. So, she says, I used to get so frustrated that you wouldn't just give me all the answers. now I understand that and have really come to appreciate how much more I learned with you making me do all of the work. But that's the point, because my answers aren't your answers. And that's the thing. You have to find your own way. That doesn't mean that I can't hint at a path or I can't show you one of a ton of different ways that my students have taught me or my teachers have taught me or other people have taught me. But we each have to find our own path. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here with transformational healing, is help you find that path, help you find that way to get back into that flow, to get back to what is a balance point for you. So, I'm always talking about get back to balance, but that means to get back into a current balance point, the balance point for you right now, because you're feeling off. You're feeling off in one way or another. Something has you feeling not quite right. So, my goal is to help you to figure out what you need to do or what you need to work with to pull yourself back to that place. But balance is not an end result, balance is a constant journey. So, I think that that's something that a lot of people don't quite get, and something that I realized that I wasn't expressing as much. So I've been expressing it probably a lot in the last like 2 or 3 weeks in the videos, but I think that it's really important to get that and to understand. So, as part of what we are doing this week is going to be all about self care. So, the posts in our Facebook groups and on Instagram and everywhere else that we're putting out, and the emails and videos and stuff for this week are going to be focused on self care. I am doing an herbs and oils for Beltane video coming up this week as well. But I want you to focus. Let me take that back. I would suggest that something that would be good for you to do would be to focus on those things that make you happy, that fill you with joy, that make you feel refreshed, that make you feel revived. And I want you to make a list of all of those things and do that as part of your self-care routine. Make a list of all of the things that make you happy, that make you excited, that put you into that refreshed, revived state. And little things. It could be little tiny things, smelling a flower, or it could be something big, going off in the woods by myself for 24 hours. So we want a balance of the little things and a balance of some of the bigger things and all the stuff in the middle, things that make you feel good. And then I want you to figure out how to put those things, not all of them, sprinkle them throughout your daily routine. Sprinkle them throughout your weekly or your monthly routine, and figure out how often you need to do each of those things that are in your list. Could just be once, it could be whenever you feel like it. But for me, that stop, get up, stretch, move, breathe, and pull myself back, pull my thoughts back. That happens multiple times a day. My sit and reflect with tea at least once a day. Even if I have to be driving while I'm doing that sit and reflect with tea, at least the radio's off, no one else is in the car, and I can reflect as I'm driving. So I try to squeeze all those things in as much as I can to make sure that I am taking care of me. And so make your lists. They're really important. And when you watch this on the replay, whoever happens to be on the replay, I want you to put some stuff in down below of how you take care of yourself. Let me know the types of things that you do to take care of yourself. let me know where those struggles are so that I can make videos that focus on overcoming those struggles that you're having and that I can address those things for you. So, let's see. Rachel says, arts and crafts time. Oddly enough, packing up ready to go meals for the husband so that I know that he's taking healthy food to work makes me feel good about myself. And eating healthy is one of the biggest ways that you can take care of yourself. Like, are you going to choose to not go shopping and get healthy foods into the house and just eat takeout all the time and then get stuck in that sluggish thing? And then you're not saving as much money because you're not taking care of food either. And I know that we're all in different situations, but right now, the more you can be preparing for yourself and preparing to take care of yourself and eating healthy, the better you're going to feel physically. So make sure you take that time. Mental, emotional health, spending time with others, spending time with healthy people, doing things that make you feel good, that spiritual time, grounding, centering, working with your ancestors, lighting a candle on an altar. There's going to church, whatever it is that you need to do for that spiritual connection to pull you back for self-care. That's what you need to do. And don't forget about that physical, that eating healthy, exercising, drinking water. Yeah, I'm really bad at the drinking water thing. I drink a lot of black water called coffee and a lot of, teas and things like that. I need to drink a little bit more water. I should add that to my list of getting up and stretch. I should drink water. So, um, but yeah, Rachel, doing different arts and crafts is always a fun way to pull yourself together too, to just add a little bit of stuff. So I'm glad you shared that with us. Thanks. But I have to get going. I want you guys to comment down below, and I am so close to 250 subscribers. So if you know someone that would like this video and that might subscribe to the channel because they might like all the other things about helping you get back into balance on the channel, hit that subscribe button, share out the video, and share it with other people, and maybe we can help other people together. You can also join the Transformational Healing Tribe over on Facebook. We've been having fun all week with our Earth Week Challenge, which actually ends today, but there's always a lot of communication going on there about different aspects of how to come back to balance, DIYs, recipes, fun things, and announcements about all the videos so that you don't miss those as well. But I'll make sure that I'll put all the links to that and to the email VIP tribe for discounts in the shop down in the description below after this video. So many blessings, tribe. And Rachel is laughing at my black water. It's water. I swear it's water. All right. Many blessings, tribe. And hopefully I will see you on Tuesday to chat about Beltane. But let me know, are you really taking care of yourself? And if not, how can I help you to do that? We'll see you real soon.